Hello everybody, Ace here, giving it to you straight with day 19 of the vlog challenge. There was a gecko. And today we're going to talk a little bit about learning how to trust ourselves more, which I believe starts with learning how to listen to ourselves better, because how can we ever learn to trust ourselves if we don't even listen? Therefore, stopping and breathing, once again, theme in a lot of these videos, comes back into play. So if we can learn how to stop, breathe, listen, then we can start to understand that ourselves has our best interest in mind, and we can trust ourselves to guide us to the places we're trying to go. And where we mess up and where we have a lot of issues is when we try to make things happen. We try to, we try. Honestly, how do you say? We try. We're trying all the time, and we're efforting all the time, and it's causing chaos. And we don't know why, as we're smashing our faces on every wall, and we don't understand why is this not working? Instead of asking, if this isn't working, what else can I be doing? And one of those things is listening to ourselves so that we can learn to trust ourselves. I have had a pretty difficult time trusting myself in my life from very early on. What negative thoughts I had in my head were reflected in the bullies I had growing up. So I would have a negative thought, and then that negative thought would manifest itself in the way another child would talk to me or would treat me, and then I would equate that as the truth. So I'd have my parents or some other adult telling me one thing, which was positive and uplifting, and then I had these other people, my peers, telling me the other thing, and it was like, well, if my thoughts are this and they're saying that, then you're lying to me. Obviously, I can't trust myself, so I'm going to suffer. And that's exactly what I did. I suffered for a very, very long time, even when moving forward, even when achieving things externally and doing well, or whatever you want to call it. Inside, it was never enough. Inside, I was never enough. And the path I was on simply wasn't mine, because I was trying and efforting and watching and looking at everybody else and how they did it, instead of stopping, breathing, listening, and trusting that I knew how to do the things and go to places I needed to go. But on the other side of that, the way I look at everything as a paradox, without all of those lessons, without smashing my face on all of those walls, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I really like who I am. I like who I've become. And I enjoy my life every moment. So I'm okay with it. And I think that's key in learning how to trust ourselves, is being okay with the fact that we haven't trusted ourselves, and that we have been unhappy, and that the decisions we have made haven't been the best. It's acceptance. That's why awareness is the first key, and then the keystone would be acceptance, because we need to become aware of the fact we don't trust ourselves and why we don't trust ourselves, and then we need to accept ourselves for all the things in the past that we didn't like, that we did, that we're embarrassed by, that we're ashamed of, and that we're guilty from. And as we learn to trust ourselves and listen to ourselves, we can work through our shame and our guilt, because it's not that big of a deal anymore, and it's not so personal to where it hurts so much for us to take it out and look at it. And that's key. And so learning how to trust ourselves is very integral in this path. Sorry. So learning how to trust ourselves is very integral in this path, because we have to learn that it's okay that we failed. It's okay that we've been bad, or we've been wrong, or we've done this, or because that's why we are where we are. And if you aren't happy with who you are right now, it sucks. And I understand. I'm sorry about that. But understand that if you can make it through this and actually find a way to like yourself as you are, it's going to be so much more sweet when you get to this point, because you now see how much you overcame. And again, you can look at things as in, do you respect the things you've been given as much as the things you've earned? And that can be given for anything. That could even be said about social programs. You know, do people who are given Section 8 housing, who are given food stamps, who are given all these things, do they respect their stuff compared to the people that have to grind and work through their stuff and work and earn it? And generally speaking, people who are given things feel entitled, and it's never good enough. Therefore, they don't appreciate it. This isn't for everyone. I'm talking generally speaking, and if this isn't you, then I'm sorry if you got offended for me saying this. Generally speaking, if we're given things, we don't respect it and appreciate it as much as if we had to earn it. And the harder it was to earn, the more we tend to respect it. And that's why this path of being human, this path through the desert of your soul to create the oasis in your life, is the hardest thing you'll ever do, because it's going to create the most amazing abundance from here on out. And that's why I jumped on today to talk about self-trust, because you need to start trusting yourself. That's a scary proposition, isn't it? We inherently trust ourselves, obviously, to survive. We listen to our instincts. We make the moves where we need to make the moves. But the difference is, in order to thrive, I'm not talking about surviving, people. We know how to survive. We're warriors. That's what we do. Surviving is not that difficult. But what's difficult is thriving and allowing ourselves to thrive and trusting ourselves and believing in ourselves and believing we deserve to thrive. It takes self-trust. It takes going through your shame, getting over your guilt, stopping, listening, breathing. That's why I keep harping on all this stuff, because I'm just trying to pull you guys in the direction of thriving in your lives. Because if more of us are thriving, then that creates that connected consciousness ability, that 100th monkey theory, where enough humans begin to think, behave, and act a certain way, more humans will come along. It's herd mentality. We want to talk about all this herd mentality with our immunity. Let's talk about herd mentality in terms of mindset, in terms of breaking groupthink, in terms of becoming more responsible and accountable for ourselves on our own paths, so that the world sucks a little less. Because the world is beautiful. People are amazing. Everything's incredible. It's just our perspective. And if we're unhappy, then that means we have work to do. And we have to trust ourselves to do that work and not take it so personal, so that we can then shed all this emotional toxicity that's weighing us down, literally with bloat, with pounds of weight. If you're someone that walks 100 miles a month and you're eating very, very well and you're not losing any weight, it's because it has nothing to do with your physical body, and it has everything to do with your emotional body. Again, starting with trusting yourself, listening to yourself, asking yourself questions, moving through your trauma, moving through your shame and your guilt, and you'll actually be able to let that go. And your pain body, your emotional body will start to shrink. And that's why I lost 50 pounds this year. Had nothing to do with the gym, had nothing to do with anything, but the fact I was eating my emotions into physical weight and pain and inflammation and a bloat. And by trusting the universe and trusting what I felt was right and trusting myself, I started walking this path blindly. Just took a leap of faith. I said, I gotta go this way. And I trusted it. And 9 months later, and been a huge change. But it took self-trust, something I never had. And so if you can work on some self-trust this week and start doing some things, and maybe even doing things and being okay with failing, being okay with imperfection, doing things and being okay with criticism and pushback, and just see if you can handle it. Test yourself, challenge yourself. It's the only way you're going to learn to trust yourself. But if you keep going by what everybody else is doing, going by the status quo, doing what you're told all the time by everyone in all these institutions and all these subject matter experts, you're going to keep getting the same results. And so doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, is literally the definition of insanity. And that's why our entire nation and our entire world is insane right now. But all it takes is stopping, breathing, listening, and learning how to trust ourselves to break that insanity. But you got to accept the fact that you're insane in order to find your sanity. And so with that, if you liked what you've seen and heard, hit that like button. If you want to join the army of energy, then hit that subscribe button. If you want to check out more content like this, see me at Conspiracy Realists on Instagram. And also, if you want to check out my new dirt product, hit the link below. I'm on day 5, and I must say, it is absolutely incredible. My brain is clear. I have sustainable energy. I'm sleeping better. My skin looks healthier. And it's only day 5. And I'm on the day 5 of the Hemisync Gateway Experience. And again, I'll leave that link below. I want to leave you with that today. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope that these words are inspiring. And I hope that you find solace in them. And I hope that this weekend you gain some rest and you gain some clarity on your path. And I'll pray for you.